discuss the contents and parts of the chapter 2 of our research proposal, which is again the literature review, which is the uh, conceptual literature, the research literature, and the synthesis. No? Ano yun, Mr. Esplana? Bakit nagre-raise ng
Excuse
hand?
me po.
Ano? Ano utoy? Yun, nawala. O, Mr. Katapang.
Ma'am, ano po, present po. Nasa CR lang po kanina.
Okay. Sige. Okay. So, ituloy ko lang. No. So, last time we are done with the discussion of the chapter 4, which is the literature review, which include which includes the, anong tawag dito, the conceptual literature, research literature, and yung ating synthesis. No, we discuss what methods, what are the tips that we can do to have an effective literature review, as well as how are we going to conduct the citation process. No, whenever we cite uh, certain literature in our manuscript, no, how we include it in our research, in our reference list, or if not, we are going to use the bibliography. No. So, chapter 1 and chapter 2 of our research proposal is already done. Now we proceed with the contents and parts of the chapter 3, which is the research design, which is yung chapter 4 sa atin po na module. So, kindly open your module in page 45. I will also be sharing my screen. No. So, we are continuously discussing what will be the content of your research project. No, dito na nga tayo sa chapter 3. No? So, which is the research methods and procedures. Okay? Generally, it tackles all about the research design. Okay? So, by definition, yung research design po is a structured plan. Okay? That outlines how to conduct a research study. So, in this part, dito po natin pinipresent yung detailed methods and procedures on how we are going to collect and how we are going to analyze those collected data. Okay? So, it provides the blueprint for the process of researching. No? And this research design ensures that our study, no, our study can really address research questions or research problem that we pose. No. So this research design is a procedural plan that is being adapted by our investigator or by our researcher to answer the question or to solve the address problem validly, objectively, accurately, and even, no, based on our objective, economically. No. So this is a plan, a structure, and the strategy of investigation so that we can have or we can obtain the answers to these research question and research problems. No. So this is the complete scheme. No, complete scheme, or this is the program of the research. No. So, in this case, meron tayong outline na follow as a researcher or as investigator from from the writing ng ating hypothesis up to the at to the operational implication doon po sa final analysis ng ating data. No. So ano ba ang purpose or function bakit tayo ay nagko-conduct ng research design? No. So based sa description ng ating research design, okay? So basically, its main purpose or function is, well, first to conceptualize, no, the operational plan on how are we going to undertake these procedures, okay, and task that is being required for us to complete the study, okay? Yung number one na function ng research design natin is to ensure that our data, yung procedures natin are adequate, no, to again to obtain the valid, objective, and accurate na answer to the research question. So here on our module, listed here is the components of our research design. So basically, this is the summary of the content ng ating chapter 3. No? Check is that there should be the research problem and objective. No? So maybe sasabihin ninyo, ulit-ulit na si ma'am, lagi na lang dapat nandito research problem, research objective. Is basically the requirement. Kailangan talaga, no, it is needed, kailangan po ay clearly define what is our research problem na in-address. No, specific objectives of our study. No, ano ba talaga need nating ma-establish? Ano ba talaga ang in the end achieve? No, ano ba ang goal ng study na ito? Ano ba yung question na kailangan? Wait lang ha. Okay. No. So again, kung maririnig ninyo, no, kung natatandaan ninyo, even on the on how you are conducting the literature review, ito yung laging number one na kailangan nating ma-identify at ma-define. No? So this is the same with generating or formulating research design. Kailangan talagang maliwanag ano ba talaga gusto niyo gawin with your research, no? Kaya kayo nagpe-present ng inyong mga proposal, tinatanong ko, ano ba ang gagawin nito? No? Paano ba ang process nito? No? Because at first, sa topic title pa lang, I want to know kung naiintindihan ba talaga kung ano ang mismong gagawin, no, in your study. No? Okay po. So, yung second po natin na component ng research design is the type of research. No? So, based on our discussion from the previous chapters, actually dun pa lang sa introductory chapters, that there are different types of research. No? So, basically, we have the descriptive type of research, analytical type of research, experimental type of research, or even exploratory research. So we are to choose the type of research that we are going to make. So this is according to what kind of research question we posted, what is the specific problem that we want to address, or even what is the discipline, what is our discipline, no, or field of study. Okay? So for descriptive type, no, it can be descriptive type of research if your objective is to describe a specific characteristic or behavior. No? So if you want it to be a systematic method in addressing and describing this characteristic and behavior. So example of this is a survey on consumer preference. No? And the next is the analytical, wherein analytical researches, it involves the process of examining and interpreting uh, the data that we collected to understand its relationship to each other. No? So the example of this is the impact of marketing strategies into sales. No? Then we also have the experimental research. Experimental research. So more of this kind of research is, ang main goal is to test the hypothesis, no, by manipulating our variables, no, and observing what will be the effect of this manipulated variable. So we are to check what will happen to the different variables that we have in our study, no, kumaga the cause and effect, okay, cause and effect relationship between the variables. Okay. So example of this is a clinical trial to test a new drug. No. Again, for the experimental, more of the why. No, we are to answer why. Why did it happen? Bakit? No. While the last one is the exploratory type of research, wherein ang main goal nito is again to explore new or kumbaga under research ideas, no? So further study something na hindi pa ganun na nadadaan na explore ng mga researcher, yung kukonti pa lang talaga ang idea, ang knowledge na meron doon sa topic na iyon. No? So, kumbaga, this exploratory research is more of identifying ano ba yung relationship, what is the hypothesis, no? To explain further yung kung anong meron dun sa topic na iyon. So, more of, kumbaga, nasa this research is magdagdag tayo ng awareness or ng knowledge to the uh, research area na pinili natin. No. So after choosing, what type of research do you have? You have. So ngayon, you are to choose ano ba ang research methodology na ia-apply ninyo. No. So again, meron tayong actually ito ay dalawang klase. It can be a qualitative method, it can also be a quantitative method, and actually pwede rin siya na both, no? Both, merong qualitative, merong quantitative. Kumbaga mixed method tayo, no? So, for review for qualitative methods, it focuses on the concepts and experience or phenomena, no, which is from subjective na perspective, no. Sabi natin diga, ito ay non-numeric, no, non-numeric data. And ang method na kadalasan natin ginagamit dito to gather information is by having an interview, by having focus group discussions, observation, ayan, and even case studies. While for quantitative method naman, of course, ito ay kabaligtaran ng qualitative since ang focus po nito is quantify the data and analyze statistically. No? So, kumbaga, we collect and analyze numerical data, no, for us to identify again yung mga patterns, yung relationships, or even yung trends. And sabi nga dito, it uses yung statistical methods. No? So, very common method na ginagamit natin here is using ng surveys, experiments, and statistical modeling. No? So, yung pwede nating piliin na yung research methodology natin is a combination or a mixed method of these two. No? And then, number 4 is yung akin po na sampling. Okay? So, in this part, ito po natin dinedetermine. This is the part where we uh, are selecting. Ito yung process kung saan sineselect po natin, no, sino ba ang ating mga participants or sino ba yung magiging subject, okay, ng atin po na study, no. So there are common techniques pagdating po sa pagpili, no, or pag-determine nitong mga participants natin. Okay, so it can be random sampling, no, it can be a stratified sampling, or pwede rin naman na convenience sampling, no. So random sampling, so this is I mean yung method na commonly ay ginagamit natin at kadalasan na ina-apply, no, sa pagpili ng samples, no. So very common natin na ginagamit diyan is the fishbowl draw, no, wherein kumbaga kung maliit lang yung total na population na kino-consider natin, yung pinakamadaling apply, no. Since kumbaga pwede nga lang na um, we write yung element natin into a paper in the box, and then i-draw na lang natin siya. And then from there, kung ilan yung required or yung bubunutin na lang sa isa. No. We can also use pagdating sa random sampling yung computer programs. Diba? So, tuwing may event tayo, laging merong uh, um, ano nga dito, uh, yung yung bubunutin para manalo ng prize, no, ng ng gift, no, from MES, no. Kadalasan yung ating ruleta, no, which is computer program. And then actually, I don't know if na-experience niyo siya, but using calculator pwede rin. We can have random numbers, no, that we can use para makapili tayo ng samples. So, puwede naman at very common din na ginagamit lalo kapag sobrang dami ng ating total number of population is the use ng table random numbers, no. So ang ano ba itsura nito? So yan kinat ko lang to dun sa sample na table of random numbers, no? So commonly ang table of random numbers yan ay naka-attach as appendix sa mga books ng research methodology and statistics, no. So paano ba natin siya gagamitin? So ang pinakahitsura niya is parang if you will compare it, is para siyang yung steam table ninyo, no, na maraming numbers siya, no, of rows and columns of numbers, no. So using this, so kumbaga kayo na magse-set, anong page number, no, pag sinabi ninyo okay, page number 4, and then you will tell me sabihin ninyo kasi hindi naman ko memorize lahat yung mga numbers na ito. If you tell me okay, column 3 and then yung 10th row, no. If you want to use this, sabihin na ito yung page number 4 natin. From the left, no, kakount tayo ng column natin, if 1, 2, 3, and then yung row natin na 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No? So, if kumbaga kung ang sample natin ay, kung halimbawa ako, meron akong ibigay na ticket, a total of 5 tickets. No? Kaya lang ang student ko ay 10, paano ako mapili kung sino yung bibigyan ko. No? So, pwede na gumamit nito. No? So, assign tayo, i-assign natin yung numbers. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then using this table of random numbers, kung ito yung naging number natin na napili, then kung sino po, no, I mean, it depends on you on how you are going to set at paano ninyo pipiliin. So for me, lahat ng may numbers na nandito, no, ID, sila yung bibigyan ng ticket. No? So yung na-assign ng number 3, number 5, number 8, number 6, at number 7, then they are the ones who will be receiving the concert ticket. No, so example lang ito. Okay? And then, ayan. Ano pa? The stratified sampling. Okay? So, ang kaibahan na random sampling sa stratified sampling is that dito po we have a process that what we call stratification, no. So in here there is a method of sampling na ito yung method of sampling that involves a division or division of the total population into smaller na subgroups, which is yun yung tinatawag natin na strata. No, yung strata na yon, they are formed based on the um, uh, uh, yung samples, halimbawa ay attributes, characteristic, halimbawa, ito yung grupo na magkakaparehas ng income, ito yung grupo na magkakaparehas ng educational attainment, so on and so forth. So, depende kung ano ang isi-set natin. Depende again sa klase ng research na gagawin po natin. No? While we have also what we call the convenience sampling, wherein in other books, pwede nyo siyang, this is synonymous to what we call the accidental sampling. No? So, sabi nga dyan, convenience. No? So, this is based upon the convenience on accessing yung sampling population natin. No? So, this is actually under yung, kumbaga um, uh, itong method ng sampling na ito is very common pagdating sa mga market research or even yan, yung mga reporter natin. No? Kaya nga lamang, no, uh, marami ang cons paggamit ng method na ito because there are cases na kumbaga, since ikaw lang yung pinaka-convenient, pinakamadaling hilahin as sample, but during the process na nagko-collect ka na ng data, nag-interview ka, and so forth, doon mo malalaman na, ay, hindi siya yung hinahanap namin. Wala siya nung certain characteristic na hinahanap namin para maging part siya ng samples natin. No? Okay? So, we have to define yung total number po of participants or yung subject natin that is required para ma-ensure yun pong validity at the same time, yun pong reliability nung kinokonduct natin na study. Okay? And the next po is the process of collecting the data. Okay? So, sa proseso ng pagko-collect natin ng data, so, we are to consider two sources. It can be a primary source or secondary sources. No? So, ayan. So, yung primary sources natin or yung primary data natin, these are the collected, kumbaga, so nito is we collect directly from our subject. While secondary data naman, ito na yung existing data from other sources natin. Like for example, for the primary sources, example of this that we have the observation, no? We can do observations, interviews, or even using questionnaires. No? While for our experimentation, while for data collection, so we use this secondary sources such as yung mga documents natin. Example nito, mga government applications, those earlier researches, no? Even yung mga census or mga personal records. Yeah. So that on the secondary sources. No. And then, okay. So, then po is the data analysis. Okay. So, for data analysis naman, so, check na natin yung data. Dito naman po, ng method, no, that is applicable doon sa data na na-collect natin. So, it depends based on the type of data and ano ba yung inyo po na research question or yung research problem natin. So, kung papansin nyo, paulit-ulit yung research question. That's how important yung research question natin. No? Kung paano talaga natin siya na-impose research. No? Okay? So, dito sa data analysis natin, techniques include yung mga statistical analysis po, pwede tayo na mag-thematic analysis or pwede rin naman na content analysis. So in this case, lalo kung sobrang dami ng data na kinoconsider natin, we utilize softwares. No? So, pwede tayong gumamit ng SPSS, Excel, or pwede rin itong NVivo, no? Data analysis. So, I actually asked this with other sections. No? Sabi ko, kasi dun sa unang section, sabi nila, ay hindi po kami gumamit ng ganyan sa EDA. Hindi daw sila gumamit. Sabi ko, bakit kaya hindi gumamit? Eh, di nga po siya nagamit ng ganitong mga software. Ang sabi nila, sa DE po, gumamit po kami ng mga softwares na ito. Yung iba naman, ibang section, ay nag-Excel naman daw sila at least. Gumamit sila ng Excel para dun sa analysis ng mga data. No? Kasi actually dapat talaga on your course, yung course ng engineering data analysis, doon pa lang eh tinuturuan na kayo kung paano gumamit nito mga softwares na ito. No, at first talagang manual, lalo na yung sa computation, mean median mode, yan yung pagtataran ninyo pag compute and all, no? So manual yun, pero din saka natin a-apply ng software lalo kapag sobrang dami ng ating data, no? Okay, so next po is ayun, matanong ko rin nga pala kayo gumamit ba kayo nitong SPSS, Excel, or NVivo? Hello?
Excel lang po. Ay,
Excel.
hindi po sa numerical
Excel.
methods lang
At
po
least,
yung
no, at
Excel.
least. Pero hindi sa EDA?
Hindi po.
Okay. Manual nga lang ang computation. Tama? And using equation. Tama. Hello?
From Shopee po.
Nawala.
Nag-Shopee.
Okay. Mag-proceed na lang tayo dun sa sunod. Considerations. No? So, after analysis, actually, dun pa lang sa process on how we are going to choose to determine our samples. No? So, of course, we are to ensure as a researcher, no, kailangan nating ensure that the participants are informed, no, about our study. You have to discuss with them or kayo one of the subjects or one of the participants in conducted na study. You have to ask for the consent. And if in case na mabigyan kayo ng consent, talagang pumayag sila and that they are very much with your study. So of course, after gathering the information, you have to protect, no, yung privacy ng mga participant mo. No, you have to handle properly. You have to really secure the data that you have collected. Make sure na maging confidential lahat. No. So after collecting those information, no, the actual process of conducting the research as well, no, no, inform ng participant ang ating subject, and when we are to collect at the same time analyze those data, we should be honest, no, we have to avoid, or actually hindi dapat, no, totally, no, we have to make sure na kahit na anong form, wag nating gagawin na ano pang form ng manipulation or even falsification ng ating po na data, no. So of course when you do it, kumbaga magiging rason kaya magiging magkakagulo ang mga future researcher natin na gagamit ng inyong papel. No? So, kumbaga, actually, ang tendency kasi talaga ng mga researcher is para na lang, okay, mag-sing na lang din siya sa hypothesis mo. No? Or kumbaga, patatamain na lang siya doon sa ina-expect natin na magiging output. No? Which is, hindi siya ganun. If talagang mag-against, then so be it. No? Just this possible na reason bakit siya ay nag-against doon sa ina-expect mo na result. No? Because maybe there is a specific factor na naging reason kaya siya nagkaganon. No? And there is a possibility na kumbaga to dig deep para mas maintindihan bakit siya nagkaganon. No? Hindi yung hahayaan na lang natin na okay, i-manipulate na lang natin, ito na lang yung data na ilagay natin para tapos na. No? So, hindi ganun. Na parang hindi talaga tayo totally gumawa ng research. No? Okay? And then, number 8 po, included sa ating research design is the presentation ng ating research timeline. No? So, I believe ito ay nabanggit ko sa inyo no, noong discussion pa lang that your study, even your topic title alone, it should be smart. No? Kumbaga, time-bound. No? So, if there is a certain timeline pagdating sa i-conduct ninyong research, as much as possible, talagang doon lang pasok or kumbaga matatapos ang inyong research within that timeline. No? So once na identify na or meron na tayong topic title, immediately after we have to make the we have to develop or generate the developmental plan. No, kumbaga you will enumerate there what are the activities and tasks each day or each week or each month for you to finish the research. No? So, kumbaga, para makita lang natin ano ba yung magiging facing ng ating research. No? So, from planning hanggang sa makolect natin yung data, no? Tapos ay para makapag-analyze tayo before natin siya ma-present. No? So, i-check natin isa-isa every step of the way. No? So, imo-monitor natin siya. And then also, we have to set ano ba yung dapat na na-achieve na natin, what should be our output at this point. No? Phase or bawat point, bawat activity na gagawin natin, ano dapat ang magiging output natin. So for us to track, ano na ba ang progress mo? No, lahat ba talaga ay nagawa? Are we on time? No, are we delayed na kailangan nating mag-recover? No, kailangan kumbaga mag-adjust tayo ng plan, but not to the point na mag-a-adjust din ang timeline. So, kumbaga papaano natin siya ikukumpara, matatapos pa rin yung ating activity doon sa timeline na nakaset sa atin. So, in this case, may ensure natin na timely yung magiging completion ng ating pong research. No? So, again, review na lang, tanong ko lang, pag kayo gumawa ng developmental plan, you will be using, in this case, you will be using Gantt chart. No? So, again, review lang, matanong ko lang po, no? Ilan nga ang total na number of, sige, total number of months na timeline ninyo pagdating sa inyong project study? Kahit na sino na. Walang may alam?
Dalawang tempo.
Hello? Ana? Ano utay?
Dalawang tempo.
Okay, no. So basically, again ha, remind ko lang, no, that there is a total na 2 semesters lang para tapusin po ninyo yung inyong research. So yan po ang dapat na timeline niyo. No. It's yung allowance pa na konti, pero again, when you are to propose and make the project, kailangan po pasok siya doon sa 10 months na nakaalat po para sa inyong project study. Yun ay hanggang approval na mismo. Hanggang masign na lahat. Or even if mag extend kayo ng document until extension. Until submit ninyo lahat ng mga requirements. No? Okay? And the next po is, ayan, yung budget and yung resources po natin. Again, I guess this is just a review, no? Na kailangan nating i-consider gaano ba kalaki ang budget na meron tayo? Ano ba ang mga resources na available, no, na pwede nating magamit, no? So in this case, you have to identify saan ba kayo possible na makakuha ng funding, no? And saan ba natin i-allocate yung budget natin. So we have to check ano ba yung um, aspect ng research natin na aalatan nga natin ang budget na ito. No. So as a researcher, you have to ensure na available po yung mga necessary na resources natin. So of course, basic yan. Kailangan meron kayong personnel or yung so-support sa inyo when you are to conduct na yung mismong kung yan man experimentation, so on and so forth. No. Equipment na gagamitin para magawa ninyo yung inyong research. No? Sabi ko nga kung may experimentation, ayan, experiment facilities. No? Baka naman kailangan o punta tayo ng laboratory or kailangan magpa-lab test tayo. So, kailangan pong ma-check yan. No? So, hanggat maaari, hindi po siya malaking-malaki. No? Actually, ang requirement nga as of now, dapat hanggat maaari pasok lang siya into 100,000 or less. No? Kasi masyado ng mahal yung mga nadidevelop natin ng mga technology. No? Okay? So, in here, this is an example of research. See there, ang research topic natin is about the impact of remote work on employee productivity. So in here, yung address na research problem natin is what is the effect of this remote work sa mga employee natin when it comes to productivity, okay, compared po to the traditional na office work. While yung objective natin is for us to evaluate ano ba yung productivity level ng ating mga employee na nag-work ng remote versus doon sa office settings ng trabaho. No? So in this case, so in this example, so we can have a research methodology na a combination ng quantitative and qualitative na for qualitative, so we can conduct the interviews, pwede interviews with the employees and even managers natin, For quantitative naman, can have yung survey, pwede tayong mag-distribute ng survey, so can measure yung productivity as well as include na rin natin yung satisfaction natin, So, pagdating sa sampling naman, so we can have, para marami tayong data, para marami tayong pagbasihan. So, we can have yung random selection ng, if pwedeng 100 employee tayo, na kumbaga manggagaling into different companies, na meron ng experience, both remote and office work. No? So, once po na ma-identify yung samples natin. So then tayo ngayon ay magde-data collection na. So of course, yan ay galing sa ibang company. If we are to check yung ating budget, so wala naman tayong time, wala tayong chance or wala tayong budget, halimbawa magpiprint ng mga surveys, yan, at puntahan isa-isa yung mga napili na employee. So pwede na ang gawin natin is, ayan, mag-online survey tayo, tapos ay mag-generate tayo or mag-formulate tayo nung tinatawag na structured na interview. Ano kang ibig sabihin ng structured na interview? Yun yung meron na kayong predetermined set of question. So babasahin na lang siya. Kapag unstructured naman, edi ito yung klase ng research na anong tawag dito? Merong interview guide, pero hindi talaga siya yung question na itatanong mo. Kumbaga, magpo-formulate ng question yung interviewer spontaneously during the unstructured interview. Tapos, every time na merong answer, so pwede siyang mag-follow up para, kumbaga, to gather more information, magkaroon ng in-depth na, anong tawag, the in-depth na interview. So, nabanggit ko lang since sabi dito, kailangan daw structured, no? So, next is, kapag nakuha na natin yung data from this 100 employees, mag-a-analyze naman tayo ngayon. No? So, we can use or analyze this survey result. So, we can use the statistical methods. No? We can use t-test, ANOVA, yan. No? Since statistical method ang pinag-uusapan. No? And then, for interview naman, then we can use this thematic analysis. No? And then for the ethical considerations, of course, kayo ay magko-conduct ng survey, kayo ay mag-i-interview. So again, we should obtain po yung consent ng inyong interviewee, yung inyong subject. No, you have to make sure na informed siya, aware siya, what is your study, bakit sila ang napili as your sample. No, and then, yan. Since pag nakuha na natin yung data, you have to ensure na, syempre, yung confidentiality ng data na nakuha natin. And we should avoid yung conflict of interest. No, na magiging reason para maging bias yung result ng ating investigation or ng ating data collection. No. So, for the timeline naman, so you can present na, okay, from the planning start to completion ng data collection, ayan. So, pwede natin sabihin from the topic title, ngayon magpaplano na kayo. No. Yung planning ninyo, lahat ng activity from the moment na mag-identify kayo ng samples, gagawa kayo ng mga survey questionnaires, ganito, so on and so forth, hanggang dun sa completion ng data collection. Ayan, pwede niyong sabihin na within 3 months, no? Then yung remaining na 2 months, yan yung analysis at the same time yung presentation natin. So parang ganyan din yung gagawin ninyo. Ano ba yung timeline? So ngayon, tayo ay week, ano na ba ngayon? Week 7 na. No. So based on your plan, no, based sa plano ninyo, which is from week 1 pa lang, diniscuss na natin, ganito yung gagawin. On track kayo. No. Dapat ba ay, kasi sabi natin by week 12, dapat tayo ay meron ng topic. No. Sa inyo ba ay meron pang walang topic? No. Baka naman marami pa. Dapat meron na kasi katulad yan, may mga activity tayo na ginagawa na hanggat maaari yung topic title na natin ang mag-title para hindi tayo magpapaulit-ulit. Okay? So, yeah. So, pagdating naman sa budget, no, so of course, i-check ninyo kung gaano ba kadami, gaano kalaki ang budget or fund na meron kayo ngayon. So, you are to allocate the funds for survey tools, yung data analysis po natin, yung software natin, and of course, yan, may mga cases na meron tayong participant incentives. No? So, ang common na ginagawa ngayon para dyan, halimbawa ay nag-answer kayo ng survey questionnaire, initiative ito ni researcher na kumbaga magbigay ng incentive. Kumbaga, among the people na nag-participate doon sa ginawa niyang study. No? So, halimbawa, bubunot siya doon, tapos magpapag- no, so, merong ganun. Merong ganun na mga researcher talaga. No? Kumbaga nagbibigay sila because of, syempre, tulong na rin kung paano nabuo magagawa yung research nila. No. Well, yung second natin na sample, this is in line with development of a hybrid drilling tool which is specific naman for petroleum extraction. No. So, yung objective natin dito, so ito yung medyo kalim ng ating study, no, is to design, optimize a hybrid drilling tool that integrates yung rotary drilling with the vibration assisted mechanism, no. is ang main goal is ma-enhance yung drilling efficiency as well as yung durability ng tool in line with the petroleum extraction. No? So, yan yung objective natin. Pagdating sa methodology, so, syempre, again, yan po ay naka-align no, sa ating objective. No? Again, actually, generally, your research design, yan po dapat ay magko-conform sa inyong objectives of the study. No, so kung ano yung sunod-sunod doon, ganun din dapat ang pagkakasunod-sunod sa inyo pong chapter 3. So of course, kung ang ating unang objective ay mag-design, then meron tayong design stage or design phase. So dito natin ipe-present papaano, anong method, ano ba, first kailangan yung i-define, ano ba yung i-design at paano ba tayo mag-i-design. No, how are we going, what are you going to design and how are you going to design it. No, what tools are you going to use. No, what are the materials to be used, what are the materials to choose pagdating sa itong klase ng application. No, so yun yung sa design phase. Okay, so next naman is kapag na-design mo na siya, no, dun sa sample natin, halimbawa, yan, de-develop daw and magmo-model ng hybrid drilling tool na ang gagamitin software is the CAD or the computer-aided design. No, so from there, incorporated or integrate the vibration mechanism with a traditional drilling. So, here we are to choose yung materials natin na gagamitin also. Dapat daw, sabi, high pressure and then dapat daw ay applicable for high temperature since this will be used in a deep sea drilling. No. So, yun yung consideration. No. And then, pagdating naman sa anong sunod, yung fabrication na or yung development phase or fabrication phase, fabrication stage. No, so dito po natin i-include ano naman yung mga requirements natin. Papaano natin pipiliin, papaano tayo, paano yung proseso, paano tayo makakapag-develop. No. So, yan. Build a prototype incorporating selected materials and vibration technology. Yan. So, paano din, we can also conduct lab test, no? Para ma-evaluate natin penetration rates. And then, yung toolware, yan. So, that is guided nitong iterative design improvements which is, included dun sa ating design stage, no? Or dun sa ating design phase. And then, ayan. So, after nating ma-develop or ma-fabricate, yan. So, there are cases na need natin na mag-optimize, no? Or mag-modify, no? Because there are cases po na kumbaga, based dun sa ating initial design and after development, may mga mapapansin tayo na mali. Hindi siya gumagana, hindi siya nagiging efficient as expected. No? So, pwede naman. Pwede tayong mag-optimize at pwede po tayong mag-modify. No? So, here, dun sa example natin, we use finite element analysis or DFEA para ma-optimize natin in relation dun sa vibration settings, no? Or even dun sa tool geometry. No? So here we are to deploy yung tool in real-world drilling environments. And then from there, we collect the data pagdating po sa performance and durability. Okay? So once na ma-modify na natin siya, then magkukuha na tayo ng data. Kasi after development stage, so of course, medyo tinetesting mo yan. Again, may mga mapapansin ka that there is a need na magkaroon ng optimization or kailangan magkaroon tayo ng improvement. No? After noon, magkakaroon tayo ng data collection. So, dito sa part na ito, no? So, again, it can be quantitative, pwede rin siya na qualitative or mix of both. No? So, for the quantitative side, yan yung proseso na i-measure natin yung penetration rate, yung tool life, no, even yung energy consumption, no, kasama yan. While sa qualitative, so you have to mag-interview, mag-survey, mag-interview tayo or yan, interview lang, no, since feedback ang pinag-uusapan. So, you should have yung feedback dun sa mga field operators na gumagamit nitong anong tawag dito, drilling, hybrid drill natin, no? Kung siya ba ay usable or efficient ba, no? Yung ating initially ay na-optimize, na-design at na-optimize. So from there, after collecting the data, then i-evaluate natin yung data na nakuha natin. And then evaluate and then we refine yung result ng ating data. No. So we are to assess ano yung performance, no. We are to identify what are the improvement areas, no. Saan tayo pwede pang mag-improve, no. And then kung kailangan na yan improvement ulit, so pwede pa naman natin na i-refine yung ating design for, of course, for commercial use, no. So yan po design dyan. Ang research naman ay paulit-ulit, no, paikot-ikot lang. So if in case na-assess na natin ito yung lumabas na result ng ating so there are chances na pwede pa naman nating ma-improve. So then pwede pa naman natin siya again i-refine pa nga, no, bago-baguhin pa hanggang sa makuha na natin yung kumbaga pinakamaganda na result yung ating dun sa study or dun sa topic na pinag-uusapan, no. And then next po, you are to present yung expected outcome natin. So basically, kapag design and develop, ang expected outcome natin dyan is your prototype or yung inyong machine, no. So you can have it na kumbaga you have your diagram there, no, and then yung description how or paano siya, bakit siya ang ini-expect mong mangyari, no? So example, improves penetration rates, yan, it reduces wear, enhances overall drilling efficiency, yan pagdating sa petroleum extraction. So tapusin lang natin yung discussion natin pagdating sa research design. And I will be presenting you some of the example or sample na thesis ng ating mga researchers, no, mga previous na researchers. Kung talagang, actually makikita nyo naman ito if you go to the library. I-check naman siya. So, for further, further knowledge, discuss natin yung isa-isa. No, bakit yun ang naging laman? Bakit ito ang naging content? No, yan. So, bibigyan ko naman kayo nito. Pero tapusin lang natin muna yung discussion natin. Okay po? So, next naman is yan. So, i-discuss natin ano ba yung research pagdating sa engineering. No? So, alam naman natin that there are a lot of specialization or field pagdating sa engineering. No? Iba't iba ang program meron tayo, and at the same time, iba't iba din kung paano natin kinoconduct yung research. No? Again, depende sa discipline and depende sa field of study natin. So, we have different approaches pagdating po sa pag-conduct ng research. It depends kung ano ba yung objective natin, ano ba yung nature ng ating problem, and even dun po sa data na makakalap or nakalap natin. No? So, number one, yan, is the research design. Okay? So, again, this is a comprehensive plan. No? Kung saan, dito po natin naka-outline ano ba yung research study natin, paano ba natin siya i-conduct, no? Paano ang proseso, paano natin siya i-collect, paano natin siya i-analyze, and paano siya i-interpret. Okay? So, yung approach po natin sa pag-i-investigate, doon structured methodology natin na we can use to guide, no, yung magiging guide natin for the entire research process. Okay? So again, meron tayong iba't ibang proseso, no. Magsisimula yan into formulating the hypothesis, and then from there, pipili tayo what type of research we are going to do, ano yung appropriate na research method, whether again it is qualitative, quantitative, or mix. No, we are to define yung mga variables natin, yan. And then, papaano natin i-determine yung nakuha natin na data and how are we going to analyze. What are the applicable methods? No. So, example na lang. No. So, pagdating sa engineering, yan. So, kapag halimbawa tayo ay magte-test ng effectiveness ng bagong material, halimbawa alloy, no, that is being used for aircraft parts. So, pwede dyan natin sisimulan ano ba ang magkakaroon tayo dito ng careful na planning, no. So, you are to outline from the research problem, what are your research objectives, no? And having this, what are the methods, ano yung methodologies na in line with your objectives, i.e., kumbaga, all of your objectives will be answered or kumbaga, madedetermine or may establish natin ano yung mga methodologies na yun. No? And of course, considering ethical implication, we should follow paano ba natin mai-implement yung nakuha natin na data. So, we have to make sure na consistent po and accurate yung proseso ng pagko-conduct natin ng research paper. Again, from planning to from the point na ipe-present natin siya. No. So, we have what we call the experimental design. No? So, dito po, the experimental design, yan po yung research kung saan kinokonduct natin siya sa isang controlled na facility. No? Not necessarily na laboratory, pero kinokontrol natin yung mga variables natin dun sa process na experiment na para matest po yung atin na hypothesis, no? Para ma-determine natin yung cause and effect relationship between the variables, no? So, bakit ba meron tayong tinatawag na experimental design? So, kasi ang purpose po nito is para ma-isolate natin and then ma-measure ano ba yung effect ng mga dependent variable natin doon sa mga dependent variable po habang kinokontrol natin yung other variables pa or yung mga influencing factors natin. No. So actually, we are going to thoroughly discuss this sa mga susunod na mga pages, no, so mga susunod na araw. No. So, yan. Pwede rin naman na gumamit tayo nitong tinatawag na descriptive design. No. So again, kapag descriptive, we are to describe, analyze yung phenomenon po without manipulation, no, systematically, no. So we are to provide yung detailed na proseso, ano ba yung current scenario ngayon, current condition, characteristic, yan. And then, ang gusto kasing gawin pagdating sa descriptive kind of research design is that, kumbaga para maka-capture document, ano ba ang existing pagdating sa topic na ito, no? And then, using surveys, using observation, interviews, and even case studies, magko-collect tayo ng data dun sa mga existing system or specifically dun sa topic na pinag-uusapan, no? So very common nagagamit po tayo ng survey, observation, and case studies, interviews, no? So, kumbaga ang main focus is talagang makakuha tayo ng mga data po natin, no? And then, number 4 is the design development. Okay? So, yung design and development, kung inyong maaalala, isa po ito sa research design na pwedeng pagpilian, no, na common na ginagamit sa ating program, no. So medyo as the description says, ito yung pinaka-crucial na process, no? Pagdating sa engineering. Kasi, more of, ang focus natin is makapag-create tayo. No, makapag-create at the same time, makapag-refine tayo ng mga bagong solutions or even ang mga bagong technology. Okay? So, yung purpose natin dito is that, kumbaga, makapag-innovate tayo. No, makapag-develop tayo ng mga practical solutions or products na magiging solution doon sa in-address, in-identify natin na needs or problem. No? So, these are the typical na component kadalasan ng design and development. So, dyan yung magsisimula tayo mag-concept ng design or yun nga, yung designing stage. Next is the prototype development or the fabrication stage, development stage, no? Kung saan po tawag dito, uh, dyan natin i-present how are we going to develop na yung dinesign natin. Conducting testing, it can be syempre preliminary testing and then yung final testing. So, during the process, ite-check natin if there is really a need na mag-improve or some modification, no? Till such time na makuha natin yung kumbaga ina-expect natin, no? And then yan, iteration process. So, okay. So, maliban dun sa atin na designing, we have the design and simulation. So, kung kanina po, sa design and development, tayo ay magkikreate, tayo ay talagang may maproduce na mismong meron tayo fabrication stage. Ano? Tingnan, meron tayo doong tayo ay anong tawag dito, tayo ay meron hindi may prototype yun na mapoproduce, no? Dini naman sa design and simulation, dito po ay tayo po ay create ng virtual models. And then we are to simulate those models para ma-evaluate natin and ma-optimize engineering design without the need noong physical testing, no? Physical testing dahil meron tayong prototype, no? But since simulation siya, kaya wala yung physical testing. Gagamit lang tayo ng mga simulation software to test it. So, ang purpose po ng approach na ito is para ma-analyze natin at the same time, malaman din natin what will be the performance ng inyong design. No, design which is under others condition. No, using tools, advanced tools, and even softwares. Okay? So, ang mahalaga po na ito is the designing process and simulation na syempre yan po ay gumagamit kasi ng computer-aided design or yung mga CAD tools natin. Also, yung mga software natin para model at the same time ma-assess po yung ating design. No? So, halimbawa na lang itong sa example natin yung pagsasimulate na ng aerodynamic properties ating bagong aircraft wing. No? So, salit tayo gumastos para pa-prototype pagkakama na rin part ng aircraft no? So, kumbaga, sa halip na ikaw mag-develop, tapos paliparin mo yun, ma-check natin kung talagang, anong tawag dito, magiging effective yung property yun. Hindi mo na simulate mo na natin agad or gagastos na tayo ng malaki agad, hindi pa naman sure kung talagang. So, yung example nito yan, you can use the CFD or the computational fluid dynamics, yung software para makita natin what will happen or how are we going to evaluate yung initial na design. Ano ba yung performance niya, no, pagdating sa iba't ibang condition or scenarios, no. So, yun yung difference nitong design and simulation. Kapag design development, meron ka ng dinesign initially that you are to develop or you are to fabricate. So, of course, actually, before mo talaga siyang ma-develop, sinasimulate muna natin siya. But there are cases na since because of our literature review, kumbaga supported na yung ating goal na ma-develop natin siya. No? So, kung hindi naman siya ganun ka-complex at pwede naman na in case, again, ang mindset, kailangan po, syempre, ang gusto mangyari, talagang gagawin ka agad. No? But since sabi the design and development, if in case na talagang may medyo may ma-fail, may masilip tayo na medyo mali, dun papasok na merong modification. And that is actually the advantage ng simulation. Kasi sa simulation, dun talagang magiging okay sa argument. 70 to 70% you can say that magiging matapos gagawa talaga or gaganat talaga dinisign natin. No? So again, yung range, meron kang isang design pagdating sa design and development. While for simulation, since nagsa-simulate ka na rin naman, wherein ang goal nga is to look for the optimum design. No? So, ito po ay iba ang ating design option. Marami tayong binavary, no? But ano tawag dito, iba't iba po yung design na pwede nating i-consider, no? And then, yung last po, the mathematical modeling, no? Kung saan dito po sa mathematical modeling, dito po i-create tayo ng mathematical representation ng physical system natin para maintindihan ano ba ang magiging behavior na ring system na ito. So, yung purpose nitong mathematical modeling is, una, para tayo po yung makapag-develop and then magamit natin yung na-develop natin na mathematical equation para again, ma-model natin yung complex system. No? And then from there, we can solve the engineering problems. Okay? So, ang proseso po ng pagmamat model is that una, i-define muna natin ano ba yung mathematical relationships natin. No? So, dun sa initially na dinesign natin, may iba't ibang tayo dyan. How are those parameters related to each other? No? So, doon magkaroon tayo ng mathematical relationship para lang yung sa thermodynamics na, no, yung directly proportional, so on and so forth, pressure, temperature, yan. No? So, kailangan magkaroon tayo noon. And then from there, we will solve the equation and we validate it sa the model, no, with the empirical data. So, ito lang yung magiging yung mahirap na part pagdating sa mathematical modeling because you have to really kumbaga ay prove na read and talagang you can see na yung mathematical modeling nyo or yung equation na develop niyo is kumbaga ay reliable result natin. No. So yung yan, example yan is halimbawa yan, gagamit tayo ng differential equation para tayo makapag-model ng heat distribution. No. Pagdating sa electronic device, no. So syempre i-check natin siya to ensure kung mag-ooperate siya within safe temperature limits. So, yung approach natin includes equation development wherein yung mga equations na yan are being formulated para ma-represent yung physical phenomena natin. At the same time, yung validation process natin. No? So, ayan. So, pagdating sa mathematical modeling, yung model natin, it predicts or i-compare natin siya dun sa experimental or even yung mga real-world data natin para ma-ensure yung accuracy and reliability po ng atin na data. Okay po? Yan. So hanggang dito muna tayo. No? So sabi ko actually ang unang part, no? Yung unang part ng ating discussion, general pa lang yan. So, dito sa mga susunod natin na discussion, i-specify natin how are we going to, again, yung addressing the problem naman, carry na yon dahil nadaanan na natin siya. No? How are we going to the data, paano tayo, doon muna tayo sa sampling, no? Paano tayo pipili ng sampling, paano tayo ngayon magko-collect ng data, paano natin i-analyze yung data, yan. So, i-discuss natin siya. No? So, no. So, meron ba kayong question, concern, clarification, ilang reaction? Hello?
Wala.
Naimik si Warren. Warren.
Ano po, wala naman.
No. Okay po. No. So, kung walang question, concern, clarification, ako ang may concern. No, wait lang. Wait lang, Otay. No. Alvin, wait lang. No. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, lalo na dun sa mga wala pang topic, taas mo na sino bang mga wala pang topic dyan. Isang representative na lang kada grupo. 1, 2, 3, 4. O, 4 pa. 5. 4 pa. 5. 5 pa ang walang topic, no? So, yung grupo ninyo, no? Again, ito naman ako sinasabi, pwede naman kayong lumapit sa akin kahit hindi Friday, no, na consultation time ko. Pwede naman. Magdadala kayo ng inyong paper, no? Nga lamang, ay inyo din naman akong tingnan. No, kung ako bagay may klase, kung ako bagay kasi kaninang umaga, medyo kasi may lumapit sa akin. Abay, ako'y klaseng-klase sa aking isang section 3, ako'y imik ng imik. Abay, biglang sumit at siya daw ay magsasubmit ng kanyang topic. Ay dire-diretso na din. So, ako naman ding tansyahin kung ako ba talaga ay libre, kung ako ay may klase. No? So, pwede namang mag-excuse din muna sa may pinto. Huwag yung dire-diretso din sa faculty room, ha? Pasuyo ako. Okay po? So, siguro i-discuss natin yung topic ninyo ulit next meeting after klase natin. No? Actually, mas maganda na personal para kayo matanong ko, kayo makapag-discuss din sa akin para kita natin kung okay ba yung topic ninyo. No? Okay po? So, kung wala na pong concern, question, ayan, meron pala rin.
Sorry po. Bukas po kaya, ano po kayang oras available kayo po? Thank you po.
Bukas, available ako ng morning. Okay.
Sige po. Thank you po.
Oh, wait lang ha. Pero yun ay, as of now kasi wala pa kaming meeting. So yun ay nakaschedule ng chair and program chair with the dean. So, as of now naman, wala pa namang schedule. So, libre pa ako noon. No, yun yung sinasabi ko. Pero mukha namang, libre na ako noon. Libre pa ako noon.
Sige po. Thank you po, ma'am.
Start yun mga 9. Okay pa? Okay? Sige. Siya, kung wala ng concern, question, clarification, no? So, let's continue our discussion again next meeting. Pwede na kayong mag-isa sa meeting room. Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Sige po.